I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was.
To catch them is my real test.
To train them is my cause.
Pokemon! We're celebrating 30 years of Pokemon with a fan story that takes card collecting to a whole new level.
And we have some wild news about recovering ecosystems and one of your favorite science educators. Coming to you on the Feel Good Fastlane, your quick ride to a world that doesn't suck.
We're your hosts, Elliot Chaparelli
and Joy Shanti Watkins. Let's get nostalgic for a sec. In 1996, Pokémon launched in Japan and is now one of the most popular franchises in the world. Video games, TV shows, movies, clothes, toys, trading cards, and the viral Pokémon Go app. It's always stayed on trend. As we celebrate 30 years of Pokémon, new generations are falling in love with the characters and still collecting cards. Card collecting and trading is a staple in the Pokémon world, and one young fan recently had the experience of a lifetime. At the Denver International Airport, 7-year-old Reed accidentally lost his binder of Pokémon cards. His parents sprung into action, filing a lost item report and contacting United Airlines directly. To no avail, the airport staff was unable to locate it. So what's the good news? Well, the airline staff began to ask for card donations amongst their employees. From Ireland to Hawaii, this call for donations spread far and wide. They were able to guarantee a new binder of about 2,000 cards. But when the family got to the airport, there were over 15,000 cards gifted to Reed. And this new collection wasn't random bottom-of-the-barrel cards. There was a wide variety of Pokémon types, and some of the cards were very rare. A few people even sent personal notes to Reed about their love for Pokémon. Since receiving the cards, Reed has thrown a trading party at school, giving everyone in his class 60 cards each. This created a new wave of Pokémon fans and emphasized the importance of paying good deeds forward. Now, Reed is still weaving through his collection with plans to share even more, but this is a great example of pure joy and community. Just goes to show how powerful and impactful Pokémon continues to be across generations. Now over to Elliot with a feel-good story about growing a forest from scratch.
Kazakhstan has an ambitious plan to plant over 2 billion trees by 2027, and they're already halfway there. It's all part of a massive, years-long effort to reintroduce wild tigers into the region. So far, the country has 2 tigers that arrived last year as part of a breeding program. Meet Bodana and Kuma. They came from a big cat sanctuary in the Netherlands, so they'll live in a semi-natural enclosure, but any of their offsprings will be able to be released into the wild. Kazakhstan also hopes to welcome 3 or 4 more wild tigers in the coming months. They'll come from Russia. Central Asian or Caspian tigers disappeared from Kazakhstan 70 or so years ago. They were declared extinct due to habitat loss, hunting, and prey reduction. Due to human disruption, just over 5,000 wild tigers remain in Asia, and those tigers roam just 8% of the land that their ancestors did. These incoming tigers are Siberian, or Amur tigers. They're native to Russia and the Far East. Studies show that the 2 populations of tigers are genetically similar, and may have even shared a gene pool as recently as the 19th century, so these tigers should adapt well in Kazakhstan. But they're going to need the right prey and the right habitat. That's where rewilding comes in. Their arrival has been years in the making. The Kazakhstan government, supported by the WWF, started this work in 2018. They've been preparing the Isle Balkhash Nature Preserve in East Kazakhstan to eventually be home to over 100 tigers. Now, these tigers are going to need to eat, so as part of this rewilding efforts, Bukhara deer have also been released into the nature preserve. By the way, this whole plan is super high-tech. Tigers and some of the deer have been fitted with satellite collars, so they'll be tracked for years to come. And scientists can use this information to further inform other rewilding efforts. And some great news, those rewilding efforts are gaining popularity. Just recently, a charity in Wales bought over 1,000 acres for a rewilding project that would focus on wild grazing and soil regeneration. And last year, beavers were reintroduced in the UK. They'll manage flood risks, create wetlands, and boost biodiversity. But what's widely considered one of the most successful rewilding projects in history was the reintroduction of another apex species in the United States. In the 90s, just 14 gray wolves were reintroduced into Yellowstone National Park. They immediately balanced prey populations, allowed overgrazed areas to recover, and soon after the wolves came back, so did beavers, eagles, foxes, and badgers. Hopefully in 20 years, we'll be saying the same thing about Kazakhstan and its wild tigers. The WWF says this could be the first ever international reintroduction of tigers, and it could pave the way for other regions to undertake ambitious rewilding efforts for other large apex predators. Back to Joy Ashanti for a story that's going to give you even more confidence in our future.
In Century City, California, from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., teenagers are volunteering their time to support youth mental health across the world. Teen Line is a safe, confidential, and judgment-free space for teens to call, text, and email other teenagers for support. It's a program run by D.D. Hirsch, a nonprofit that has been providing mental health care for nearly 80 years. The teen volunteers are called listeners, and they have to go through an extensive training process before participating. They are interviewed and thoroughly trained in active listening, crisis de-escalation, emotional regulation, and other mental health topics. They do practice calls, learn from guest speakers, and are supported by licensed clinicians every step of the way. The organization's senior director, Cheryl Kark-Eskin, said, quote, "We're not anti-adult, but often the adults in teens' lives are the ones grading them or disciplining them. That power dynamic changes everything. When you're talking to another teen, it just feels simpler and safer," end quote. In other words, like the Fresh Prince, aka Will Smith, once saying,
"Parents just don't understand."
The Teen Line's impact data shows that 98% of callers report their interactions helpful, and many will reach out again or recommend the line to a friend. Teen Line not only helps the people who call in, it also has a positive impact on the volunteers. Some have reported being less shy, making new friends with fellow volunteers, and gaining a stronger understanding about empathy. Sounds like phoning a peer or a friend is a great mental health trend. Over to Elliot with our final feel-good story about a person who once convinced me, back in my teenage days, that science rules.
If you went to grade school in the United States around the time I did, you might remember this guy, Bill Nye. America's favorite science teacher just got a Lifetime Achievement Emmy Award at the Children's and Family Emmy Awards at Lincoln Center. My favorite day of school was always when a teacher would play a Bill Nye the Science Guy episode. Bill Nye made 100 episodes in the 90s with topics ranging from volcanoes to evolution to the science of music. His show already had 19 Emmys, but he'll be adding his Lifetime Achievement Award to an even longer list of accolades. That list includes a Presidential Medal of Freedom and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. These days, Bill Nye is the chief ambassador for the Planetary Society, a nonprofit dedicated to advancing space exploration. Let's hear it for Bill Nye. Did a science teacher or public figure ever inspire you? Tell us about them in the comments below. We started this episode with a popular 90s theme song. Joy Ashanti, what do you say we finish it with one as well?
Bill, 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 Bill,
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
There's your bite-sized brightness for the day. Short stories that will leave you feeling good and knowing good fast. Now, we have to ask you to share, follow, like, and comment, but only if you want to see more good news in your feed.